What's up, ladies? We are live. It is day 11 of the summer reset fast. Whoop, whoop. We are so excited to have you joining us. Shout out to all the sisters that's been rocking with us for the last 10 days. Ladies, have y'all enjoyed yourselves? Sisters, have you enjoyed yourself so far? Have you been getting tools and resources and spending extra time with God and taking more care of yourself? If so, that has been the goal and the mission of this 12-day summer reset fast. So shout out to you, sis. And guess what? We got some more that we have in store for you. So go ahead and come in. Go ahead and let everyone know that we are live for tonight's session, and we are talking all things creativity. We opened up this morning with praying over your creativity, and tonight we're going to talk about how to reset your creativity. So if you have been looking to be more creative, maybe you've been experiencing creative block. Maybe you're just saying, God, I know that there's more that you've called me to and you have for me. Then tonight is your night. Matter of fact, I want you to go ahead and drop that in the chat right now, that tonight is my night. I want you to say that. Say that out loud if you're not able to chat. Tonight is my night. Not only is tonight your night, but this is your season, sis. I believe that you're getting ready to walk into one of the greatest seasons of your life because you are tapping into everything that God has placed on the inside of you. You ain't seen nothing yet, girl. So tonight I'm excited, as I said before, that we're talking about creativity. Y'all, I got a special treat for y'all tonight. We're about to flip it up. We're about to flip the switch tonight. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. Y'all know we've been having conversations with some amazing sisters every night of this fast. But tonight, we got a brother that's going to be with us. Y'all know it's something about having the men of God come and share and give their fresh perspective. And so I'm excited that my brother, Mark Tutson, is going to be hanging out with us tonight. So ladies, if you're ready, I want you to go ahead and prepare your heart. Check out these announcements and we'll be right back and jump into conversation. right, we're back, ladies. We're back. How y'all feeling? I hope that you are feeling so good. Listen, tonight we talking about all the things. You know, we don't get a lot of men around here saving the city, so when we do, I have to ask them all the questions. And so I have a list of questions I am getting ready to ask my brother Mark about what it means to be creative. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. All right, y'all. I told you that I had a treat for you. I felt like it was only right that we got a brother's perspective during our 12-day fast. So ladies, can y'all help me welcome my brother, the infamous, the famous Mark Tutson as our special guest tonight for night 11.
Thanks for having me, Pastor Brittany.
We're so glad to have you. How you feeling?
You got me out of my comfort zone, so I'm making it shake, but I feel good.
Let me tell y'all, he's usually behind the camera. And when I tell y'all we have the best conversations as we are getting ready for setting stuff up. So I'm like, I want the ladies to get some of the goodness and the glory, because we be talking about the real.
Yeah.
And I feel like that they could benefit from the things we talk about. So that's why I wanted to invite you.
Okay, well, I hope I can help.
For sure. Tonight, y'all, everything today has been all about creativity.
Yeah.
And we've been like on this creative kick. Like you and your wife have come alongside me to Saving the City.
Yeah.
And first of all, I told you earlier today, like, I just appreciate you. I appreciate it's been dope to just have someone else I can dream with.
Yeah.
And like understand what I'm trying to do. And like challenging me and pushing me creatively, right? And so I feel like this would be a dope approach to like the conversation of creativity.
Man, Pastor Benny, thank you for having us. I'm excited. I love to create with another creative.
Yeah.
And then it's even more fulfilling to create with a creative that's a believer.
For sure.
So the perspectives are, we have similar perspectives on why we do what we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's dive in, sis. The only way I'm thinking about just mid-year, I feel like sometimes we start the year and we got all the ideas. We got fresh energy. It's something about that new year momentum. We got, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the lines, sometimes we can find ourselves just kind of going just in the mundane, just kind of doing what we know to do and coming out of that place of creativity, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is a conversation we need to have because I believe God has called us and created us to be creative.
Yeah, no, 100%. I know for myself, I came in January, I was popping.
Man, what?
Popping. Man, I had $12 million ideas.
I'm telling you.
Know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna hold you about Ramadan, about March.
I
was like, started going down, and so now I'm working on bringing it back up. But it's I don't know why we go through that. Like we go through those peaks and valleys. I think this is life. Maybe we start off top of the year is normally like a reset for everybody.
For sure.
January, February is pretty slow.
Yeah.
March to start warming up.
Yeah.
Lifestyle happening, for the people that get tax money, they got their tax money, they running up a tab a little bit. People like myself, you got to start figuring out your tax plan. You know what I'm saying? So the stress of that, kids, all of those things. And so the creativity starts to die. It don't have to, but for a lot of us, if we don't be intentional about feeding that tool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I feel like we can't have a conversation right now about being effective in the kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the believers, right? And our call and the Great Commission to go out and make disciples and to be a light in the world. I feel like we can't fully effectively talk about that without incorporating creativity into the strategy of how we're going to reach people for the kingdom.
100%, because if we look at the secular world, we were just right before we hit record, we were talking about Beyonce.
Yep.
And how
the creativity.
Man, I was watching a clip the other day. She had her Sir Davis with a robot arm pouring it on stage for her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we have to come with that same kind of creativity because creativity equals influence.
Yeah.
So the more creative you are, the more influential you become.
Absolutely.
So we look at some of the greatest tours, the greatest campaigns.
Yeah.
The more influence you have. Think about this. McDonald's had ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. That was so creative at that time, right? And it's still memorable right now. Do anybody still really talk about Burger King?
No.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because they never had that ba da ba ba ba, I'm loving it. They never had the golden arches.
Yeah.
These creative elements that made them so influential in the genre of what they work in.
Why do you think sometimes we don't take that approach when it comes to the kingdom?
Arrogance.
Ooh, wow. Unpack that for me.
I answered that really fast too.
Yes, you did.
I don't know.
That's something on you.
It flowed
I know why we're not being as creative as believers. Arrogance.
Let me tell you why. Because a lot of times, I just want to make sure we sound good. Make sure the people. Can y'all hear me, people of God? Okay?
Come on, because we got to hear what you about to say.
So it's arrogance on a few fronts. One, it's arrogance because even though we have God, He also has commended us to do works.
Yes.
Everything is not like, well, miraculous genie in a bottle because you say do it, it manifests, it's so fly. So we think because, we are Christians and we have God, that just because we approach something, it automatically wins.
Yeah.
But God also has given us the tool of innovation, strategy, and creativity, right? And if we don't use those tools, then we see why something don't flourish in the faith. If our ministries are not growing or people not coming to the seats, we're saying it's the devil.
Yeah.
It's not the devil.
Come on.
It's not the devil.
Come on.
It's your lack of innovation, strategy, and creativity.
Yeah.
You have not sat down and said, how can I create an influence in the spirit of people I'm called to?
Yes.
To first of all, identify the people that you're called to.
That's important.
So
because we all are called to a group of people.
100%.
It's not the people with a microphone. We're all, as believers, we are called to minister to a group of people.
100%.
And I love that you said that we need to identify who we're called to.
So because your creativity is, so me as a creative, I know what I'm called to, the group of people.
Yeah.
So like, there are things that I get called for that I don't take because I know I'm not called to that space of creativity.
Got it.
So, because if I go into that space, I'm going to fail because that's not my level of creativity.
Yeah.
Like I can create in that and I probably could do something decent, but I'm not going to be in my peak.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And God has put me in spaces. I've started in these spaces and He's moved me in these spaces. Then He moved me in these spaces. He put me in these spaces. But He graced me for those spaces at those times. And He gave me the creativity to go with me in those spaces.
Yes.
So the arrogance sometimes as believers is that we don't have to be creative. We just do.
Yeah.
And everything will follow because, well, God's hands is on it.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But He's also given us tools to do. And not to be deep a little bit, but every time I thought about this one time, maybe it's the Holy Spirit right now. In the Bible, when God has had people to do things, there always was action to it.
Yeah.
Like miracles.
Absolutely.
There was an action to the miracle.
Absolutely.
And he touched you, He said, do this.
Yeah.
Or He said, yo, I want you to do this, but you got to do this.
Absolutely.
So sometimes we forget the action part.
Yeah.
And so that leads to arrogance. It's like, just, it's the save me complex, I think.
Wow, like that's so good. So do you believe God is calling us like to tap into creativity and innovation? How do we do that like in everyday life? Because everybody doesn't. I think sometimes now we've coined creative, like some people are creative and some people aren't.
It's a buzzword.
Right. And it's like, if you have been made in the image of God, He's the creator, so you're creative.
Yeah.
And that may show up in the way you parent. That may show up in the way you show up at your corporate job. But I feel like creativity is a unique way of approaching a problem with a solution.
100%.
Right. And so how do you see that as like every believer seeing themselves as being a creative force because they're in the image of God? Or do we have some people who
think about that? I
know, right? Because it's like, am I like the mom that's at home? She's a stay-at-home mom. She's like, am I creative?
She is, because a lot of times, the mother is using creativity to create systems.
Yeah.
To make her life easier as a mother. So if that's canister organization and labeling and how she labeled things, or how she configure the drawers, or how she creatively rock her kids to sleep, or how she get them to wind down at the end of the night. With TikTok, you see all these cool ways of people creatively creating works and things to do to help in their everyday life. And a lot of times in women, how they do like do their hair and little hacks and stuff. That's creativity.
Absolutely.
A hack is creativity.
Yeah.
It's just, we call it a hack, but it's essentially creativity.
Yeah.
It's God's giving you an innovative, creative way to do something shorter or easier.
Yeah.
You know
Come on. That's so good. Did y'all hear that? Creativity is God giving you an innovative way to do something shorter or easier, or in a way that someone has not seen it before.
In a way that nobody has done it before.
Oh my goodness. That I just feel like that's so good. I feel like even as we're having this conversation, that God is wanting to like breathe on our creativity. Like for some of us, we've been doing some things, but I believe God is want to give us a new way of how to approach the things that we do.
100%. And I think one of the things in the faith that I've seen recently in the faith is this like trying to find. I always tell people, find your own unique creative voice.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times in the faith, we have not taken the time to find our creative voice, but we go for trends.
Okay, talk about that.
So trends is a lack of creativity.
Ooh.
Because a trend is copycat.
Come on.
So you can take something, and I say everything is borrowed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is borrowed, right?
Yeah.
But God, I believe, God is so good and he has so much power that even in the borrowedness of things, he still gives you the unique authority and creativity to make something your own unique ID.
Yeah.
So it's yours.
Yeah.
Right? But what I've noticed in the faith a lot, we find trends, and it goes back like I remember back in the day when T.D. Jakes first, he was like this first one of the early like mega pastors and on television, and everybody would like. And I worked in production. I was growing up in church at the time doing TV ministry and stuff, and I would hear a lot of the like production people say, "Man, we got to be like Jakes when it came to production." Television, he was the pinnacle of black ministry production. I got to be like Jakes.
Yeah,
I got to be like, and back then, for me, I'm like, yeah, Bishop Jakes and them killing, like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But then as I got older and I got more skilled and I started getting God and you know, hearing and living in my creativity, I'm like, yeah, what they doing is dope. And no shit. And my mentor is one of the guys that run Bishop Jakes right now. But like,
how else can we do this?
But how can you reimagine?
Yeah, because we got so many people to reach.
It's so many people to reach. And so like, I look at Bishop Jakes broadcast now, it's great.
Yeah.
But then I look at some of the other ones, like I look at a Mike Todd and I'm like, so he does Beyonce every weekend. Like that's crazy. Yeah. But then there's other streams and videos and I to me, one of my favorite churches that on the creative side is Transformation Church, Mike Todd. Like what he just did with the mustard thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoever runs his creative department or what, that like
big props.
It takes gall to be like that because it has resemblance of the world. You know,
but they understand. I watched a podcast. He said the other day, he said he understands who he's called to.
Like I said before, you have to identify your audience. And so a lot of times, if because we don't know who our audience is, we haven't identified, we start copy and paste. And you and I've had this conversation. Like I say, in the faith right now, like everybody's Maverick City now, right? Everybody's baggy clothes, muted colors, you know, that whole nude, you know, flat color look.
Yeah.
Every praise team in the freaking country almost, that's what they look like on the stage now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, because they're just taking that look. All the worship people have now become worship collectives.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, we're mimicking, and I've seen that for years in the faith. Like, we find something that, like, somebody do it.
For sure.
Fresh creatively. Yeah. And then everybody start just copy and paste. And I'll be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
how do we create or find our creative voice?
First of all, I think it's tied into your purpose first.
Okay.
Once you find your purpose and who God has called you to and what God has called you to, your creativity will start to align because they run parallel on the same tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
With your purpose and your creativity. And so, you know, we can take it out into a secular thought, right? You know, if you agency creative, right? Yeah. You know that your work, most agency creative have a lane, beauty, retail, food, you know, and so they are really good at those spaces. And so as a believer, it's like, yo, me now in the faith, I've worked in secular and I still work in both spaces. Yeah. But like in the faith now, like for me, I know what God has called me to. As a creative, God has called me to mainstream culture in the faith, merge them together.
Yes.
So a lot of what inspired me is like looking at what the world is doing and what is appealing to the world and creating a solution.
That's it.
On
that,
the belief
doesn't compromise.
That don't compromise, but still entertain
Absolutely.
and influence and create aspiration.
Absolutely.
So everything that I work on, if it's not influential, influencing Christ or God or lifting them up, or aspirational, where a person look at it and say, well, how do I become like that? And then when they ask that question and they start to research it, it's the kingdom of God. It's God, it's the light, right? So if it's not that, then it's not, that's how I approach everything. So when I line it up, if it's a TV show pilot, if it's a campaign, if it's an activation, I try to layer, even with most of our clients, as God has blessed me uniquely, as I talk about it, most of my clientele, I get to live in both spaces.
I love that. Love that. Dope.
We get to live, and we got some big box brands that we represent, but their ask of us is, how do we create aspiration, good news, good vibes, very positive outlook. And that's what we sell. So that drives my creativity.
I love that. I think one of the things I want to mention with this, because I know a lot of women struggle with their voice. A lot of women struggle with finding their voice. A lot of us, me included, sometimes don't like the sound of their voice. And I think that's a trick of the enemy. But one thing I've learned is you're not going to know what you don't use. You're not going to know what you don't use. So if you're not using your voice, if you're not using your gifts, if you are so afraid of getting something wrong or messing something up, which I feel like in a creative space, there's no such thing as that, then you won't build the confidence to say, man, this is my creative expression and this is my creative contribution to whatever space God has called me to. So I say that to say, sis, use your voice.
Use your voice.
Okay, wherever God has you right now, if you're called upon, use your voice. Speak up, whatever that looks like with where you are, because that's how we're able to develop and learn more about what God has already put on the inside of us.
My favorite saying, like when my wife and the people we work with, I say, when we go to a meeting sometime for like something new, I say, we throwing paint at the wall.
That's it.
And we got 20 paint buckets. And we just slobbing. And whatever come afterwards, like that worked. And then we build on that, and then we build, and then now we say, okay, the red fits better here, so let's paint that whole wall red. Okay, cool, the red looks good, but we need an accent. Then we start building on the accent, put a stripe there. Oh, we need a picture. Then we put the picture there. Oh, you know what? Can we put a sconce light up there? Oh, then we add the sconce. Then we get done. We're like, wow, that wall looks freaking fantastic.
For sure.
But we have to start with throwing paint at the wall. And I think sometimes with creativity, we are afraid. Creativity is not perfection.
That's it. Say that again.
Creativity is not perfection.
That's it.
If you look at the most amazing art, the most amazing food, the most amazing things, they happen by accident. And it's not technically accident. It's literally you doing what you do, and God just put it on you. But you went free, surrendered, and God was like, oh, your heart is right, you're surrendered, I'm gonna help you out, bye, Holy Spirit, and so you look like a chef go in the kitchen, you get on a piece of chicken breast and a bunch of seasoning, and they never cooked and they like, oh, this is chicken Marcellus 20 blah 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 blah. They ain't never cooked that. That's not a cookbook. They just took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and it was like, oh my God, now they got a masterpiece.
Sis, don't be a drop in the comments if this conversation is blessing you, because that's what we need to hear. I feel like so many times in our creativity and what God is calling us to, it's like we get stuck because I don't want to mess it up. I speak to so many women and they ask me, well, what's the right way to do something? And I'm like, that mindset is what's getting us caught. There is no right way. What do you feel led to do? What are you sensing? Where do you want to explore? But I feel like we've been so conditioned for somebody to give us permission to be who God has already called us to be.
I'm gonna tell you what, something that kills that, and I'm a person that I'm working on this too. Social media.
Oh, y'all lean in.
Because comparison. Right? So we look at somebody else's creativity or their works or what they've done, and they're polished. But we never saw the process of them getting to that hit song or getting to that business or getting to that artwork or getting to those pictures or that whatever. We don't see the process. What we see is just, wow, that's amazing. So when we start trying to attempt to do something similar and it don't come out like what theirs do, immediately we like, nope, I'm done. And this is me right now in this season. Because I'm in a rebuild season.
Come on.
Right? In a new space. Right? So it's like, I literally have to shut social media off, like delete the apps and be like, yo, I cannot look at social media right now because it's affecting my creativity. I heard like a really well-known music producer say this one time. Before I go in the studio, I shut off the radio and music for 6 months.
Wow.
Because I don't want to be influenced by anything I hear.
Yep, I've heard that. I've heard a pastor, a preacher say that.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to shut out so I can really hear from God. I don't want to be influenced. And that's what I was going to ask you. Like, I think it's important to identify what are those things that drain us or like pull us out of creative spaces.
Ooh.
And I think you said one, social media can be a tool for inspiration, but I feel like too much of it can really cloud whatever the unique thing God is trying to birth in us.
I had to go back old school. I'm gonna speak to both of those, but I'm gonna go back to the social media first.
Yeah.
I had to go back old school inspiration for myself, pre-social media.
Come on.
What was the things that inspired me before social media? YouTube was the early tool that inspired me for social media. There's certain creators that I love. I follow them on YouTube. I follow their journey. Reading books.
Yeah, come on.
I had to go back to reading books. Magazines. When I'm in the airport, I come out with a stack of magazines. I spend $200 on magazines.
Yeah.
And I go in my office, I turn me on some music, and I just go through. Music is another one. Like, yo, and you know, for me, the kind of music is like lo-fi music, jazz, you know, old school hip hop, old school R&B, those nostalgic things that take me back to moments.
Yeah.
And like for me, the 90s was like the purest creativity for Black people.
Yeah.
So those were old shows. I was watching New York Undercover.
Yeah.
Those things that were like, they were iconic for that time.
For sure.
And so I had to go back old school and like I said, everything is remodeled and borrowed.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that was happening now are starting to happen now in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, yo, getting in those spaces and getting out of that, because a lot of the people on social media, they're not killing the game.
Yeah.
Like they're letting us, it's false. And so we're letting that drive our creativity and making us feel less than, and then we're not completing or doing what we're supposed to do. So that's that part on social media.
So first thing I hear is you got to know what inspires you.
Got to know what inspires you.
So ladies, when we're talking about resetting our creativity, getting that creative edge back, go back to the things that inspire you. For some of us, it's going back, and some of us are redefining. We're in a new season of really identifying what makes you come alive, what inspires you, and let's incorporate more of that into our lives.
And the Bible talks about marking people, like mark this person. For me, I found people that I mark, and I'm a student. Yeah. So I become a student of them.
Yeah.
So it's like Coltrane Curtis is one of the people now that I'm really like studying. He owns Team Epiphany Agency. It's a husband and wife combo.
Yeah.
Me and my wife is a husband and wife combo creative agency. So I become a student of that. I'm reading some books about Soft Sheen, Mr. Johnson that started Soft Sheen, like studying those people, icons that doing things in the space. So those things are inspiring me. That's that part. The second part, when you talk about things that drain you, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Let's go.
It's about the relationships and friendships.
Oh my.
I was in a relationship for almost 9 years.
Okay.
That relationship, and because of that relationship, I lacked creativity. My business, I got sued a couple times.
Wow.
Because people knew my work to be like this, but because of our relationship,
distraction.
I was distracted and I wasn't performing the way I was supposed to perform.
Ooh-wee.
So that because of that, I started getting depressed, and so I was sad and anxiety. I was anxious, and so all those things, I was uninspired.
Wow.
And so I just stopped creating.
Wow.
I went and took a 9-to-5 job because I was just like, I don't got it no more.
Wow. And this stemmed from
a bad relationship that I should not been in. It was so.
It's one thing to hear that the sister say that. That's a whole other thing for us to hear the brother say that. Ain't that right, sis?
Straight up. I was in a bad relationship. So that's another thing. And like friendships too. Like any relationship, if it's romantic or just, homies, like you gotta.
Because if you leave in the conversation, every time you get off the phone and you're drained,
you can't create. You're tired.
Every time you get off the phone, like you want to be around people that
inspire you.
You talking to them, and y'all gotta like, okay, girl, we said we get off the phone because we talking about dreams. We're talking about what we trying to accomplish, what we trying to do together. You pushing me, I'm pushing you. Like
when I come in here and we start working, the whole day we're pushing and pulling, pushing. Yep. When I leave, I be like, yo,
let's go.
I'm on, like when I left here a week ago, I was like, yo, I've never wanted to do a podcast by myself ever in my life. I hate being in front of the camera. I'm sweating. This shirt got to go in the garbage when I get done.
I pulled him out of his comfort zone, y'all.
And so when when I left, I was driving, right? And I'm gonna say this for the sake of making myself do it, right? I was driving, and the Lord dropped something in my spirit and was like, "Yo, I got a podcast idea for you." Wow. And I was like, "Okay." He was like, "The main thing." Wow. He was like, "Mark, you're always talking about the main thing is me, but you do work in so many spaces." But I was like, that came from us having this conversation about like the kingdom of God and how conversations matter, and one of the worst things that's killing the kingdom right now is the microphone. So I'm like, God, okay, my part, I'm gonna speak out, right? Yeah. So that's number one. Relationships. One more.
Okay.
The third one is. So you got social media, relationship. Third one is, I hate to say this.
What?
It's proximity. It's geographical.
Wow. I could see that. Oh, you on my street now.
It's geographical, yo.
Yeah.
Like, for most of my adult life, I lived in super fly metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
I could walk everywhere and touch Starbucks, food, everything I wanted to do. It was groovy town, right? Yeah. It's just like, I used to just wake up in the morning and go to the airport and be like, what's the next flight to New York? I would go to New York, work in a coffee shop, walk around New York. I would come back, $1 million ideas. Yeah. Like, yo, when I met my wife and I moved out here, I moved to the suburbs.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to lose my mind. Like, everything shuts off at 8 o'clock. I'm used to being able to walk to 2 in the morning, walk to a pub, sit and catch up with a conversation with another dude that's rocking and shaking. And oh man, you do boom, boom. And so I had to find my proximity to be creative. So I want to get me a membership at the Gathering Spot. Yeah. I'm intentional about going to the city during the week and work in different spaces.
Getting into those spaces where it can,
I go to Midtown, hang out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I go back to Chicago, a couple times a month. Yeah. And just 2-3 days. Yeah. Like, see my baby. But I go to my spots that in Chicago, they used to inspire me. I lived in an area called Hyde Park for a long time. Love that area. I just walk around. I go to Hyde Park, just walk around, give me coffee, see all the other homies just doing stuff. Proximity matter, geographical things matter.
That's true. For me, it was moving out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Like I didn't ever see myself living there, but once I got there, I got comfortable. Yeah. And so I remember before I moved, and shout out to Alabama. I love all my Alabama people, but you got to know where God is, what He's doing in your life. Yep. And I'll never forget, a man came up to me one day, was like, "What you doing here?" Yeah. And I was like serving. I was doing all the things, and he, like, my heart just like stopped. Yeah. And he's like, you get to a place where you can outgrow certain places. Yep. And I didn't recognize it at the time. Yeah. Like, I had maxed out and capped out of the space that I was in. Yeah. And then I started praying. God said Atlanta, and I never thought I would live here. Yeah. And at first, I didn't see why God moved me here. But when I got here, coming from a smaller city, it's like something opened up for me. Yeah. It's like I had the space for my wings to begin to fly. Yeah. And just the synergy here. I saw Black people doing things in Atlanta I have never seen as a norm in my whole life. Yeah. And there's something about exposure of just seeing what's possible. It's like, oh, if they can do that, oh, I can do that. I never saw myself or my people so I think that's why representation matters. Yeah. I think that's why exposure matters, getting outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. All of those things matter because that's what's feeding your creativity and what you even see as possible.
Yeah, mine was the opposite. Wow. I came to Atlanta for a job to work on a show, right? Yeah. And I didn't have to be as creative. I took a pause for my creativity in real life. I took a pause because I wanted to become a husband.
Well,
so I had to put a pause on digging for a minute.
Come on.
And go build a foundation.
That's a whole conversation by itself, ladies, huh?
No. So
that's good.
So I took a pause on digging because creativity, and I was like, yo. And I was traveling because I was digging. I'm moving around. So I wanted to take a pause and become a husband. So I took an opportunity that was good money. It settled me down. I had put myself down for a minute. Yeah. God let me do that for like 4 or 5 years. Stable myself, got married. Yeah. He was like, here's your shovel, son. Wow. I said, cool. Let me get on a plane and go back to the dirt that I know really well and the ground that I know that I've built relationships. I can pull all the homies and we gonna build together. He said, build here in Atlanta. Ooh. I'm like, but I can't. So he's stretching me now. Yeah. I'm digging into I'm going like a creative retreat in a couple of weeks.
Let's go.
Because I'm like, I have to dig in and figure out how to be creative in a space that's uncomfortable.
Wow. Because I've never had to. Ladies, have you ever been there?
I've never been. This is the first time.
Wow. And I believe so many of us can resonate with that because you always know when it's God because it's something you probably don't want to do.
Yeah.
And it requires surrender.
Yeah.
You know, it requires us depending on him.
Yep.
It requires us tapping in. But you said something I think is another thing I think is so important when resetting our creativity. Sometimes you have to step away to hear, to get still, because your ideas come from him.
Yep.
It does not come from us trying to grind it out.
If you got too much noise in your life,
that's right.
You can't hear. You can't get it. And so coming into this new season where I have to be more creative, I have had so much noise in my life. And it was, you know what it was? Me throwing paint and not intentional paint. Like I had 100 paint cans.
Wow.
I didn't even know what paint cans I bought. I just had paint cans. And I was lobbing. And I'm like, not just working. And now I'm in the water, flapping. And it's like, just kick your legs. But I'm like, no, nothing's working. Because it used to come to me very easily.
Come on. And then every season it won't.
It won't. And so I had a conversation with you and you challenged me. You challenged me on something. And so I got still. And I'm ladies, man, that devotion, reading your word, all of that stuff matters, yo. Because I wasn't doing that consistently like I was supposed to. I was letting life go. And literally, I challenged myself 5 mornings in a row. I'm going to get up in the morning, do my devotion, pray, be quiet, hear from God. 5 days. I started at 5. I did. Today's my 5th day.
Let's go. I celebrate that.
Thank you. Within that 5th day, within the 3rd day, I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, this is what I reorged our whole creative agency on our 3rd day. I sat on the love seat and said, this is what we're doing. We're taking this away. We're adding this. We're moving this like this. And we're going to do that like that. And boom, 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 boom. She was like, bet, let's do it.
Look at that. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness.
Everything else will be added.
Everything else will be added.
100%.
You are a child of God. You do not have to run around trying to figure it out, trying to do this and trying to make this shake and try to be. You ain't got to have that scammer energy.
He tell us not to lean on our own understanding.
You don't have to do that. He said, just come sit with me.
Come holler at him.
Come sit with me. Come sit with me. I'm going to give you everything you need. You've been trying to figure it out. I can drop one thing in your spirit.
And solve all my problems.
Yes.
And so it's like, I read 8 scriptures over 3 days and prayed 3 days and got quiet for about 20 minutes for 3 days. And he reorged my whole agency.
And I've been hearing you talk as we've been, recording and all the things. And I'm like, the revelation you've gotten in such a short amount of time. Because it's like, God be like, I was waiting for you.
Yeah.
You've been out here trying to do all of this.
Yeah.
Trying to make it happen, trying to be creative, trying to be innovative, trying to follow this trend, trying to do this. First of all, you're mine.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling you to do things the way other people are doing it. Other people say you got to do the algorithm and you got to do this, you got to do that. I give you one thing, I'll breathe on it. It'll set you up for years.
Forever.
That's the type of God that we serve.
But creativity and alignment with God is like this.
That's it, y'all. Are y'all hearing what we're putting down?
Because legit, when you're aligned, ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Part of that relationship was 100% misalignment.
Come on.
So I had some consequences.
Get out of them situationships right now.
Leave.
I feel that's so strong in my spirit, sis. I spent a long time in a situationship. So I have credentials. Get out of it. I do. I don't speak about stuff I ain't walked through and I got something to, after it. Get out of those draining situations, ain't going nowhere. If that man ain't serious about you, he is draining your creativity.
Yeah.
If sis, I am telling you, I'm telling you, you have to be decisive. You have to move with intentionality. Yeah. You got to know your value when you show up in a space. Like, do you know who you are?
So I'm going to give you 2 examples of how that works. Right? I'm going to give you 3. First, I'm going to start with me.
Let's go.
So I was misaligned in a 9-10 year relationship, right?
Okay.
I had to deal with the consequences of not being aligned, all of that, right? The moment I stepped out of that relationship, I literally felt like God blew fresh breath into everything I was doing.
Wow.
I mean, cooking.
Come on.
On a bunch of levels. Mm-hmm. And then it was crazy because he blew that fresh joint, like, breath on me. And I was like, business, I did a devotional. I was flowing, right? Yeah. I got saved maybe a few years So I got saved like a year out, right before I got out of that relationship.
Okay.
So now I'm saved. I got this fresh Jesus.
Let's go.
You know
what
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then this the crazy part. God pulled the rug from under me. He made me go sit. He moved me into the middle of nowhere by myself.
Wow.
And he made me only focus on him. And so I was like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But then when I came out of that season, smoking,
yeah,
the pandemic hit.
Wow.
When I say I saw something the other day. I was at my parents' house in Chicago. I was creating. I went to Best Buy and bought a little monopod and had my iPhone. I was just creating dope stuff.
Yeah.
And from that, I had for like 2-3 years, people didn't really see me doing nothing. So when I started doing that, my phone started ringing again. And I was like, dang, ringing like it was before, but better, with better money, better situations. And I was like, well, I'll be John Brown. And that situation brought me to Atlanta.
Wow.
An old boss saw me cooking again. Hey, man, what you doing these days? I got a situation in Atlanta. You want to come down here?
Favor.
You know what I'm saying? So that's that piece. But let's look at the music, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people in these misaligned relationships. They break up with the person. They go make a record. They get their first Grammy.
Yes. Because I don't know. It's something about that when down bad, they make the best music.
You down bad because you out of that misalignment.
Baby, when you like, wait a minute. I woke up one day like, I ain't putting up with this. Yep. I ain't gonna cry. Yep. I'm not gonna cry.
Mary has did it for us for a lot of years.
Man, what?
You know,
like,
Mary, stay out of them misaligned relationships.
Jesus.
But we appreciate it because you create some good music.
Yeah.
But Usher, Confessions, one of the best records, like, you know what I'm saying? Misaligned. So I'm saying that to say we got relationships. Man, that is a big one with your creativity.
For sure.
You gotta have proper alignment.
Yeah.
And
you know, sis, stop saying you looking for a sign.
You know,
if you looking for a sign, you already got your sign.
Yeah.
Like if you look for, I'm just going. You sis. I'm telling you, what God, who you are, and what God has put on the inside of you, and what has to come out of you. It's time for these things to come out.
Yeah.
These gifts, these talents, these dreams, these things that we've been sitting on. The reason why we're having this conversation is because you can't spend the second half of the year sitting on what God is giving you to release in 2025. And I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
There are some things that are time sensitive that we're saying, oh, I'll get to it, but you haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
And so we're having this conversation with you tonight, right now, to say it's time to start. It's time to start creating. It's time to get in the flow of the spirit of you and what God has called you to do.
Yeah. And them kids too, you got to deal with them kids.
Yeah.
Some of us got kids.
Yeah.
Kids, they take a lot.
For sure.
But you got to want it bad enough. Creativity takes work.
Absolutely.
It takes sacrifice.
Absolutely.
How bad do you want it? It's like when you're running after God, we want it so bad.
Yeah.
We praying, we sit still, you know.
And if we're running after God also means going after everything he's called for you to do.
100%.
Right? Like, I go through different seasons with my purpose. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, like, what used to motivate me doesn't motivate me anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I wasn't as mature and I wasn't as whole,
I
thought, we talked about it in one of the other sessions, like that performative goal.
Yeah.
If I get this, if I get that, if I get this, I'll feel better. I'll do that. Well, I've done those things. And it doesn't really give me what I thought it was going to give. And so now my greatest motivation is that I made a promise to God.
Yeah.
I gave him my life. And I told him that he could use my life. And because I love him, love is not empty. Love is, I can't say I love God, but I disobey when he's giving me an instruction to do something. Right? And so because I love God and I want to serve God, I show up. Even when I don't want to show up, even when I'm like, man, I don't like how I look, or I don't like how I sound, or dang, my voice, and all of those things. And so I think we got to get to the place where our love for God, our willingness to serve him has to be what drives us to go past our comfort zones, to go past what we think it should look like, so that we can fully be and do what all he's placed in us.
Period.
Period.
And I feel that. I'm in that season right now. And it's like, what I thought it looked like, it don't look like no more.
Yeah.
So the way I use my creativity is not the way I used my creativity a year ago.
Yeah.
It looks way different. And I'm like, whoa, this is jarring.
Yeah.
So
gotta be okay with it looking
you
different.
Gotta be okay with it looking different.
Because he's an innovative guy.
He's an innovative
Why
guy.
would he say, hey, don't put new wine in old wineskins.
And he even talks about us doing greater things.
Greater exploits than Jesus. It came out of his mouth. John 14, I've been studying it. He said, greater works than who? You turn water into wine. And you're talking about we're going to do greater. He said, yeah. And how? Because I'm going to give you my spirit. You have in the Bible, they call the Holy Spirit the advantage.
Yeah.
As a believer, as a child of God, I know the world, it seems like living better, whatever, but you got God's spirit on the inside of you that gives you the advantage. He'll give you insight before a meeting. You'll be in a meeting and you'll know, I watch you moving it all the time, like making a deal and God will give you something. You'll minister to the heart of the CEO and not even realize it's the advantage. And it doesn't have to come in quoting 5-10 scriptures. No. It's just us embodying our God DNA, ladies, that makes us creative in the world. And I believe that's what the world is looking for now more than ever.
100%.
They're getting tired of it. Ain't giving the way it used to give.
Nah.
It ain't giving the way it used to give.
That's why we see so many fleeting careers publicly, like in creativity. Like you'll look one day they on, one day they off. Yep. And then it's somebody new, one day they on one. So that's not sustainable
for sure.
Because it's not authentic. Mm-hmm. It's not God. So we look at like creators and singers and songwriters and artists and all the, people in the creative space. And we like, people, they're the day of creatives being sustained like years and years and years and years. That the music we hear now, we won't hear in 20 years. Yeah. But the music we heard like the 80s, and the 70s, the 80s and 90s, we still listen to it today. Absolutely. Still charting some of it, know, and because it's authentic. Them people are living in the true place they supposed to be. Yeah. And so, but that's you ladies. There it is. No, creativity is, but in this reset, I think that all those things, you put them in a pot.
That's
it. And you just churn it.
Let it cook.
And you let it cook. And you get with God and proximity of people, all those things matter. Yeah. And sometimes what I've learned is just getting out of familiar. Sometimes, they say familiar to breed contentment and stuff like that. That's very much true. For sure. So if you so familiar with environments and things like that, it's hard to be creative.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So.
Y'all, this was so good to me.
Yeah. Nah, Pastor Brittany, come on now. You got me in front of these ladies. Yeah. Nervous and
y'all see how much the man of God poured out?
Nah.
It didn't give nervous to me, and I'm pretty. Let us know in the comments. It didn't give nervous to me. He has so much he's just innovative and edgy, and we have these type of conversations all the time, y'all. And I thought it would be something dope and something fresh for us to bring the convos that we have all the time to you all. I hope this inspires you, man. Yeah. I'm stirred up over here.
Nah, yeah. I'm challenging myself right now, like the last thing I'm gonna say is this: don't be afraid to jump. And sometimes jump.
Talk to him.
Sometimes jump and creativity, and this is creativity. Sometimes God wants to give you more, but He can't give you the more creativity because you may be in a situation that you're going to use that creativity to benefit somebody else, but not for what He called you to do.
Been there.
And I'm in that season right now.
Been there.
I need to jump from a situation, and I'm like. But I'm thinking about the check. I'm thinking about my child support payment.
Come on, I'm thinking about
straight up. I'm thinking about my child support payment. I'm thinking about my bills and my wife, and my wife's Instagram name is Lavishly Ashley, so that just tells you a lot about who she is and what it takes to be her husband. And so I'm thinking about all those things. Wow. But I know, and I'm like, I hear the Holy Spirit, and I feel it. Like, Mark. Leave.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I leave, God's gonna open something up so fly for me. But that I was studying this week about faith.
Yeah.
And it's like faith is the unknown, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, yo, ladies, like I'm telling y'all straight up. Somebody right now, I'm for real. You probably like, should I go? Should I stay?
Yeah.
And we like, do we trust God? Do you trust me? Yes, I do. Well, do what I'm telling you to jump.
Ooh, I'm just letting it simmer. Sis, there you go. There you go. What He has for you on the other side of your obedience. As the man of God said, it's going to be so fly, so dope. but you got to trust him so you can come into alignment with what he's doing next.
Yeah. Y'all,
this has been so good. Yeah. Let us know in the comments, what's been your biggest takeaway? Like, y'all know I'm real big on next steps around here.
Yeah.
All right, we've just had this conversation. We've talked about things that drain your creativity. We talked about ways of getting inspired. We talked about just our kingdom mandate as believers to be creative and to be innovative, getting still in the presence of God. All the things. Let us know in the comments, what is your takeaway? We believe that God is breathing on your creativity. For those of you who have been experiencing creative blocks and inspiration blocks, we believe that during this fast that something is shifting on the inside of you. You're going to dream. I was reading the scripture the other day. He says, in the last days, I'm pouring out my spirit, and you're going to dream dreams, and you're going to have fresh visions. That is our prayer for you tonight. So I appreciate you, Mark.
I appreciate you, Pastor Brittany.
Man, we'll be doing it again. Oh, I'm coming on a new podcast, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to come to the new podcast.
You the guest. You know what? You the first guest.
Let's go.
Well,
congratulations in advance
Thank you.
For you operating in your creativity and using your creative voice.
Thank you.
Y'all check them out. Let them know about the agency.
Yeah. So I I co-founded and co-partnership with my wife.
Shout out to Ashley. We love you.
Ashley, I love you. But it's 1357 ADC. We're a full service creative and innovation strategy firm. So, and we specialize in content is one of our biggest things that we lead with. I did 20 years in television.
Yeah.
I started at the bottom and worked my way up to producer, director, executive producer.
Yeah.
And so now that's our number one tool in the kingdom right now.
For sure.
Is eyes, people watching. So that's why I do that now. And yeah, that's me. I'm in this new season. I don't know what else I'm gonna do now. Follow
the Lord.
I'm in etc.
Yeah.
You know, it's I do this, etc. ..
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's me. Check me out. My Instagram handle is _MTUT, MTUT. I'm gonna start posting more because I don't post on social media, but that's part of my.
We all gonna do that, right? For those of us that are called to that in this season.
Yeah, people need to see what God is doing in your life.
Come on, people need to see what God is doing in your life. Sis, we love you. We're proud of you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us with this creative conversation. Can't wait to see what comes from this. All right, we'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, peace.